And today I'm going to talk about my Joshua Lionel Callan limited edition Challenger series locomotive. This specific Challenger is road name Union Pacific and road number 3985. In real life, this is the only one left, and it is very famous. So we'll start off with basic front features of the engine. First, we have a nice coupler that hatches open from the main cow catcher. You can open to find a scale coupler, or you can switch it out with a regular O-scale coupler by switching a screw, by removing a screw under here. Right. There's some nice cast-in pipes details here, a nice coupler cut bar. We have some more cast-in details with separately applied handrails and grab irons and so forth. Safety tread on this walkway right here. Lighted number boards with 3985 on each side of the LED headlight. Alright, we'll move to the front of the boiler with the UP shield up here with 3985 across and Union Pacific here, and I separately applied grab iron across. Lighted number boards here with the 3985 number. Two LED lighted marker lights, and the boiler opens up like that, and it is held by a magnet, so when you want it to stay closed, it will stay closed. And we also have a nice bell up here, painted red on the inside. Now we'll work down the top of the engine. First you have the special double stack feature of all Challengers because of the two drive sets, one for each drive set. Some nice cast-in riveting detail, separately painted and applied grab irons and so forth. Nice shiny painted golden whistle. You have I think a water dome here, and a sand dome here. You got some nice valves and pipes all down the back of the engine. You have another water dome here, and each water dome is for each drive set. You have the steam dynamo back here, which is a generator for the headlights and the lights. It's a steam power generator for all the electronics on the engine. Here is, I actually don't know what it's called. All I know about this is that steam shoots out of this. I think it's the steam that's left in the firebox. It shoots out of this hole every once in a while. You move that back to the cab to find some nice riveting details all over the place, and this vent opens up like that to reveal a nicely detailed cap on the inside that we'll get to in a few minutes. Now we'll move to the bottom part of the engine with the first set of drive wheels. We have the nice detailed pistons here. You have two boiler plates that are actually legible if you under a magnifying glass. You have drainage holes on the walkways. Nice piping detail here. The drive rods are amazingly detailed, and I personally like the way they look when the engine is moving backwards. All of this moves except for this rod here. Surprisingly, this gear here, it barely moves, but boy is it a cool feature that it actually does move. Now we'll get to all of this piping here. As you know, this is an articulated engine, so I'm going to pick it up real quick, show you something. The pipes that would normally be on the engine to get to the pistons actually move so they can get to the pistons. It's really cool, so you can do this. There. And that does it on both sides of the engine. So that's how it would normally get steam from the boiler into the front set of pistons. We'll go back to this water tank right here, which says Hydro Test 210 LBS 7-12-43. Here's more of the moving pipe detail. The second piston, and if you check that gear that I said moved here, there's a very small one. It's maybe half a centimeter long. It moves right. This has to be smaller because you can't make that big gear here, but then it can't be the same size because the engines can only get so big. You know, they're just so big and heavy. Just making that extra, like, jump a couple more, maybe that would be like 5 or 10 feet in real life. But here it's pretty small. It's a pretty big difference here. This rod is really small in here. So again, all drive rods remove except for this one here. This is lovely detailed all around here. It's held up by this, not really, but in real life it would be. And right here, you get to this nice red hand painted valve with the firebox, and you also have the variable ash pin / firebox glow right here. There's a glow, it glows red right through here. There's a nice riveting detail over the firebox. These trucks are nicely detailed down here with the injectors coming out on the bottom of the cab. All of the treading is on the walkways. There's safety tread on the whole length of the engine. Also, it's drainage holes, as I said before. The piping detail along all along the engine is astounding. There's a window right here, and we'll move to the side of the cab. 3985, nice number here, nice big numbers. And then down here is like the engine configuration and all of like it's like the math details of the engine. It's really cool, actually. This window opens and closes back and forth. There's hand-painted engineer and fireman guys in here. There's these curtains on either side of the engine on the back of the cab. This flap goes up and down from here, and it falls down to here, from in between the tender and the engine. Here are those curtains that I was talking about before. And now we'll move to the inside of the cab.
Okay, go.
We'll start again with the folding deck plate and the curtains because I don't think you may have not seen that in the last shot. Here's the folding deck plate. The tender would usually be right back here. It would rest on the tender. And here are those curtains that I was talking about before. Here's the infrared, like, wireless tether in between the tender and the engine for the electronics. There are like meters along the engine drive rods, so all those meters and the patterns, everything, it all goes back to the tender where all the electronics are. So move up to the inside of the cab with nice cast-in detail everywhere. Nothing is painted, it is all black. But what's nice about this tender in this interior of the cab is that it is lighted. There's a light up here, and the light comes through the top deck plate, as I said before, and through the top plate, you can see into the cab actually, which is pretty cool. Okay, first we'll talk about on the tender, the infrared receiver for the wireless interface system of all of the electronics in the tender and the engine. The wires just go back into the tender up in here. There's a coal door over here where the coal would fall out. These doors would probably open like that, and the coal would just fall out. There's casting detail everywhere. You got a nice ledge up here with pipes going up. There is a builder's plate over here that is also legible under a magnifying glass. Riveting detail all along the tender. The nice big Union Pacific logo in white letters is on the side of the tender, in big white letters. Actually, they're pretty big. This truck moves. This part of the truck moves to negotiate around its curves, which is minimum curve, by the way, is 072. But these back 10 wheels, 5 on each side, they're fixed to the tender so they don't move. They're just like all one. None of the rolling caps move, but it's exceptional because otherwise this is a phenomenal engine. We can move to the back of the tender, all the way over here. You have the nice UP at 3985. I have no idea what that says, but it's a nice little touch. You have an LED backup light here. All three of these are red marker lights. Nice riveting detail everywhere with the electric coupler, which can be fired from a legacy remote. There's ladders on the sides of each. We can move to the top now with it looks like wood. It's like nice cast-in wood detail. All three of these open. Just this one doesn't stay open. So that's a nice touch. This coal load is a real coal load with a toolbox right here. And yes, the coal is real. That was not made up. Alright, so here's all the lighting. 3985 on either side. The LED headlight. The 3985 number boards up here. The green marker lights up here. There's marker lights on either side here. There's one right here, and there's one right here. Same on the other side. If you come all the way back to the cab, you can see the lighting. The lighted. You gotta get a little closer, but see the lighted cab in there, and then also by the firebox, where the firebox would normally be, there's a glow. Like maybe you can see the reflection off my pointer. Right there. That's the firebox glow in the firebox. We'll move back to the back of the tender to see the epic lighting effects. Red marker lights here, and that's an LED backup light for when you are going backwards.